October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and 1 in 8 women in the U.S. are diagnosed with the deadly disease every year. Well, Sarah Samples with Carilion Clinic joins us in studio to discuss the importance of early detection and screenings. Welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I love the pink.
Thank
Looks
you.
great.
I had to
Absolutely.
rep my breast cancer group today.
Yes, you did. Yes, and we're kicking off October on the right foot. And we want to talk a little bit about what you personally wish more people understood about breast cancer.
So what I personally wish people knew about breast cancer is that breast cancer doesn't have to be the end of your story. There are several types of breast cancer that you can have that just may need a simple surgery, a pill for a few years, and they won't even require IV chemo. So several types of breast cancers, it's not a long drawn out diagnosis and treatment. You can simply get it done and close that chapter in your life. We largely achieve this by early detection. So get your mammograms and know your risk level.
Yes, I know. I have a girlfriend who was going through that journey. We just the other day got the great news that she is cancer free, which I love, and a lot more women are getting that great news because of that early detection.
You're
so
right.
That's such a great message for women who may be afraid of, hearing you have breast cancer, but we are seeing more and more wonderful success with battling this disease.
You're right, and a lot of people, you hear that, oh, I don't want to know about it if I have it, but honestly, we can get it taken care of very simply, hopefully with a simple procedure, and not have to progress to some IV chemo or longer treatment.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so what time of a woman's life should they start thinking about getting screened and checked?
I love this question because national guidelines tell us that at age 25, you should learn breast awareness, and that is knowing what your normal is and knowing what is normal for you and being able to communicate any differences to a provider. National guidelines also say that at age 25, a risk assessment should be done on you to know whether you're high risk or average risk for breast cancer. Those that are high risk, and we find this out at a young age like 25, then that allows us to do their imaging sooner and more frequent so that we can catch anything they may develop early.
Yeah, how do I know if I'm high risk?
That's a good question. It's a lengthy answer, so I'm going to give you the short answer today, and that is one way to think that you're high risk is that you have a family member, like your mother, who maybe was developed breast cancer at a young age, so premenopausal, maybe in her 40s or 30s, and that is a warning sign that you may think, I might be high risk.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about advice that you would give to patients who are newly diagnosed.
My first piece of advice is if you're diagnosed with breast cancer, you are allowed to grieve your diagnosis. You are allowed to feel your feelings. You're allowed to be sad. Second, I would say rely on your healthcare professionals, right? The oncology navigation team at Carilion Clinic was created to help patients from diagnosis to treatment. They understand how overwhelming a diagnosis of breast cancer can be, and they're there to help with next steps, appointments, and education. And so there's a team of navigators at Carilion Clinic really ready to help any cancer diagnosis.
And I think that's so important. Like you said, it's really not the end of your journey. It's just part of it. It might be tough for maybe a year or so, but there is, success at the end of the tunnel. And I want to give a lot of women hope out there. But I think that piece of knowing your body and from a very early, young age is so important. And those self-checks, right?
Yeah.
So do you still recommend those?
We do. And there are different recommendations, different national guidelines, but strictly we're following certain national guidelines that say still know your baseline, know what is normal for you so that you can communicate any changes to your healthcare provider, and really know your risk level. Are you average risk or are you high risk? Because average risk people, they can do yearly mammograms at 40 that everyone knows about. That's what we've heard all our lives. But if you're high risk, you need to start your imaging sooner at a younger age, and it may need to be more frequent. And there is a risk assessment that your provider can do, your healthcare provider. It's a series of questions, and they can ask you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions and determine you're high risk or you're not high risk.
Okay, that's good to know. And
Yeah.
just, talk to your family, know your family history. That's so helpful.
Yeah, that's the first step. And there are other guidelines to being high risk, but it really starts with family history. And then you get into possible genetic testing, because we do know that some breast cancers are driven by genetics.
Right, exactly. But not all.
Not all.
Not all, but some.
Not all.
That's good to know. All right.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much for being here.
You're
I certainly
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Get your mammogram.
Okay, I always do.